Hello everyone, my name is David. This is my question and answer video, part 2, where I'm answering everyone's questions from the last question and answer video, which was last Monday. I do this every single Monday. Ask me questions, guys, down below, down in the comment section, and I'm going to answer them next Monday in the next question and answer video. And I didn't say this last time. If I miss your question, ask me again. I didn't mean to, I forgot, or I totally missed it. If I read it wrong, ask me again, please. If I answer it and you don't understand, I don't make sense, I answer it wrong, I'm way off base, ask me again, please. I'm trying to answer you guys' questions the best I can. I want to answer all of them, okay? I wouldn't be doing these videos if I didn't. And I know how it feels to be missed or skipped or something. I'm not doing that on purpose, okay? I want to answer everyone's questions, so ask me again. Thanks. So the next question on part 2 is from Delnita, and Delnita is in Fresno, California. Hello, Delnita. So this is a very long question. Bear with me. There is a woman on my fibromyalgia support group who reached out last night. Her husband is confiding in another woman. He said he confides in her so he doesn't upset this woman, his wife. Said it's about work and she wouldn't understand anyway. He won't let her near his phone, like my husband did to me. My husband, I found out later after he walked out on me that he was having an affair. She asked the group what we all thought. Her story sounds like he is cheating. I pointed her towards a life coach, your coaching, and another one, Angie, to get help. Search the internet for information, cheating, gaslighting. Some of them suggested having the women over for dinner, go to his work, and the three of them have lunch together. Get phone calls printed out of his calls. See how many times they call each other. Print out copies of the text, blah, 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 blah. But she was in need to chat with anyone who would listen. Are any of these things the right things to do? We all think he is cheating. Our partners did exactly the same thing. Some asked him, I feel for her. Some said, ask him. I feel for her. I recognize the pain in her texting. What can she do? So what can she do? If you need help, I'm telling you, if you need help, hire it. It's the best. It really is. Your friends might not know what to do. Your friends might not never experience this. Your friends might give wrong advice, bad advice, even though they mean the best. So I would suggest she should ask her husband for counseling, marriage counseling, so that he can be held accountable for his behaviors. Because I don't care what he does, the problem is how she feels, right? Maybe what he does wouldn't bother some other women. So we don't sit there and say your behavior is wrong. He's hurting her. He's hurting her. So we can all, tell her what to do, and we can all give our opinions, but we're not in the house. We don't know. We don't know what they agree on, what the deal is, what he really does, this and that. Go to marriage counseling, and if he won't go to marriage counseling, you have your answer on how important this relationship is, or this marriage is to him. Because it's real obvious when the marriage is going down in the dumps. One clue is when your spouse asks you to go to counseling and you say, no, I don't want to go. That's a good sign your marriage is in the dumps. If you don't care about saving it, you don't care, right? So if the person, my significant other, ever wants me to go to counseling, it doesn't matter that I don't need it, or I don't think I need it, or I don't, you know what I mean? She wants to. She's not happy. I want her to be happy. She's my partner, right? I want my partner to be happy. That'd benefit me, right? So I would go to counseling. What's so bad about counseling? Why wouldn't I want to go to counseling to save our relationship? Why wouldn't I want one person to work really hard, who has lots of experience and knowledge, work really hard to help our relationship for both of us to be happy? That's awesome, great. The only reason I wouldn't want to, because I don't care. So It's that easy, really, about just, we need to go to counseling. I'm not happy. He says no, goodbye. It's that simple. I mean, you don't say I'm not happy, I need to go to counseling, and the spouse says, well, I don't care, I don't want to go, and you just say, oh, okay. Well, then what are you going to do? What else are you going to do? If he just says no, I don't want to go, and that's the only option, it's just, I can give my opinions on what this stuff is that I think it's wrong, right? But it's up to her. She's married to him, not me. It's all perception, isn't it? This mug has a handle on the left, doesn't it? It's on the right? No, it's on the left. I promise. See, perception depends where you're standing. I don't know. I don't know how much of this is accurate. I don't know what she agreed on with him. I don't know anything. And none of us do. So she needs to go figure it out with professional help. She can go get advice from people she doesn't know all she wants. That's good. It could be validating for her, but in the end, she needs to do something about it. Really. Okay? Thanks. David from Pennsylvania. Hello, David. Thanks for all you do. You're welcome. Thank you. Telling my ex, Narc, how much and why she hurt me will definitely make me feel better. But will doing something like this backfire on me and just give her more supply and ammo to manipulate me further? Well, I wouldn't know in your case, David, but it could. Generally, sure. We can't always get closure when we want it. And meaning we shouldn't always try. If they're not going to give it, we're not going to get it. And if we try, we could get hurt. So it's pointless to try. You can get closure on your own, guys. Not without that person. Eventually, you can get closure. Talking about things. Closure is for you to understand and feel better. You can do that. You can understand what happened and you can make yourself feel better, okay? I'm not saying you have to do that alone. I'm just saying you can do that without your abuser. Going back and telling your abuser how much they hurt you may not be the best idea. If you want some closure and you want to write a letter and send it off to them, knowing that they'll get it, believing that they may read it, and it may make you feel better, and you don't care what their response is and you won't hear back from them, that might help. I don't know. But if someone abused you, yeah, if the relationship should be over, and just telling them how much they hurt you, if they're a real sadistic person, they'll enjoy it. If they're not, and it makes them feel ashamed and bad, maybe it could help them, maybe it could help you, but really you're not there to help them. You're there to help yourself, okay? So if you think that's going to hurt you, I mean, who cares what they think? Who cares? It's over. Relationship's over. Stop caring about what they think. If you think it'll make you feel better and there's no repercussions, fine. Do it. Best thing is to write out a letter that you want to send to them and keep reading it until you don't need to send them the letter anymore. It works. Seriously, I know it seems stupid, but it works. Baby cakes. 1, 2, 3. Could you give an opinion on Amber Heard and her case with Johnny Depp? Apparently Johnny Depp is innocent and Amber framed his as an abuser for years. I've never heard of this story, didn't follow it, so I briefly looked at it, and I could give my opinion, but it's worth nothing. My opinion is worth nothing about this. Who knows what it's worth about anything, but it's definitely not worth anything about their marriage. If I lived in their house with them, hell yeah, ask me. I'd be interested maybe. But really, it's he said, she said. It's a toxic, nasty, abusive relationship. There's accusations and allegations from both parties. It's gross. I don't really care. I don't really want much to do with it. I feel bad for the both of them. I hope they feel better and separate and move on and not keep doing this with other people. You know? And I, you know what I mean? I just really don't know. How would I know? So to give my opinion is just worthless, totally worthless and pointless. You know, I would like to. I'd love to give you an opinion. I just don't know. How can I even form an opinion? It couldn't. I don't have any more information than you or anybody else. Opinions are like what? A-holes. Everybody has one and they all stink. Sorry, I couldn't help you more. I really don't know. I don't know. There's abusive allegations, there's slander allegations, tens of millions of dollars worth of lawsuits both ways. I think there was a 30 and a 50 and I don't know. It's a big, disgusting, hot mess. That's my opinion. Big, gross, hot mess. And you know, it's something I want to say. We can't form opinions very accurately anyways about celebrities. We don't know them. We just watch them play characters. That's it. You know, so, you know, Johnny Depp was a good pirate. I liked him in Leaving Las Vegas and a bunch of other movies, Edward Scissorhands. But that doesn't mean he's got really cool hands. He's a badass pirate and all that, you know what I mean? So the guy could be a psychopath for all I know. I don't know. And I definitely don't know Amber Heard. I don't know either. So, I'm sorry to keep going on. Carlito from Indianapolis, Indiana. Hello, Carlito. Can narcissists get jealous if you finally moved on with your life and they're still getting on your Facebook page and seeing that there are girls flirting with you? Yeah, I would imagine so. Yeah, I know some do. They get, you know, jealous, envious, whatever. It's just because those are the things they put importance on. Status, relationships, right? They wouldn't care that you're happy, finally found happiness and healthiness with somebody else. No, it's, oh, look, he's got girls, pretty girls flirting with him, and oh, that makes me feel and look like a loser and stuff like this. You know, it's just, yeah. I know it bugs narcissists generally. Yeah, totally. Because and how do you know? Because that's what they do. That's how you know. Right? After the relationship, they go post a bunch of photos of them with other people. Look, I'm awesome. You know, they're doing that to hurt you. Then that means that they put importance on that. That means it will hurt them if you do it. You know, you can always use their weapons against them. The tactics they use, you do it back to them, and it affects them. You know, because they think it will for you. Hi, Fiona from the United Kingdom. Hello, Fiona. Could you say a little bit more about codependency and why you find it a problematic concept? In your video, you say it hinders healing. I always feel like proper guilty, like it is all my fault. I got treated crappy from the narc because I am codependent, trauma bonded, whatever. I feel it lets the ex off the hook and all the bad stuff they did, like it's 50% your fault and 50% their fault. This is not to deny my own responsibility or to ignore childhood wounds. I know that stuff plays a role, and I get that it needs sorting. So, your question is, could you say a little bit more about codependency, why you find it a problematic concept? Well, I don't want to dissect or tear apart codependency on its own. And I'm not a doctor at all. You know, I'm just giving my opinion, just like any of you. Codependency is, there's many facets and elements to codependency. So the more you add to it, right, maybe the less people it applies to. You're kind of finiting it to a specific group of people. I commented to Ross Rosenberg one time about this specific issue. I'm not going to go on and on about his stance about it, but what he told me directly was that anybody who has any kind of a relationship with a narcissist is codependent. And I think that's ignorant and careless, and I'm not trying to be mean. I think that's not right, and you can't paint such a broad brush with victims like that. That's just, you can't do that. Some of the facets of codependency are giving up full power, full authority for someone to abuse you. Another one is the addictive element to it. The other part is, I don't know where my feelings end and the other person's begin. Things like this, descriptive. I'm trying to describe codependency. So I would never say that applies to everybody. I think we put a lot of importance on titles. Okay, guys? A lot of doctors will tell you that maybe everyone has some kind of disorder, right? Some kind of mental problem. Maybe everyone. Some people, or maybe a lot of people, or maybe even most, have a lot of disorders or problems. Stuff like this. I mean, there's hundreds, maybe thousands, But, so the titles, we don't like it. We don't want anything to be wrong with us, stuff like this. I know, I get that. My point on codependency is not to attack it alone. It's to say you can't just say anybody that's been abused, anybody that's dealt with narcissists, anybody that has problems is codependent. I don't believe that. But it can, I don't know about hinder healing. I mean, it can, improper diagnosis can hinder your growth in life and stuff like this for anyone. It can, of course. I just don't like how people apply that to all of us. Like, again, like anybody that's dealt with an abuser, a relationship with an abuser. Because that's just not true. And Ross Rosenberg said that. So, I mean, that would be to say that, if my sister is a narcissist, then I'm codependent. Right? I have a relationship with my sister. She's a narcissist, so that means I'm codependent. No, it doesn't. Asinine. That's about all I got to say. There's elements to it. Everyone's experience is different. Everyone's recovery is different. Not everyone's codependent that deals with this, that's for sure. Best thing to do instead of just worry about titles is to find out, why you feel the way you do and fix it. Why some of the decisions you make don't serve you very well and you do it or you keep doing it. Find out why and change it. Okay? Thank you. If you have more to ask me about that, please do. More specific. Jenny from DeKalb, Illinois. I have heard from different sources that the cluster B personality types target you because there's something remarkable about you. And they feel that you will elevate their social status somehow. Could this have something to do with your looks? Like a guy who is not so good looking with a hot girlfriend, if that makes sense. My ex-cluster B jerkface also told me once that I am a reasonable woman. So yeah, I've said this a lot before. Pretty much people with cluster B personality disorders don't put importance on relationships like emotional connection, partnership, growth, things like this, meeting each other's needs. They put importance on relationships for things like status, things that you offer them, how it looks. So yes, a guy could date a girl just because she looks good on his arm candy. But then you'll say, well, why did he date such an ugly girl? Well, because maybe she had money. Maybe because she, the way she treated him, stroked his ego and said he's so amazing every day. So something that he got out of it. Not something shared, not something reciprocated. Something just for me. Does that make sense? Status isn't just status. Where am I? I'm awesome. It's like reasons for dating someone that benefit me and I don't care about you. I hope that makes sense. Something remarkable about you. So there'll be a reason what you have to offer them, provide them, and stuff like that. These people have the lowest self-esteem of all, right? So they could feel better about being with somebody that has, good looks and good status and things like this. But they could also feel better. Let's see. So they target you because there's something remarkable about you. Well, what would that be? Something so remarkable. What would that be? Because they date people that will put up with their crap. Because if you don't put up with their crap, they aren't going to change. So there's no relationship. You have to put up with their crap. That's it. That's one remarkable thing about us. We put up with their crap really well and really long time. But now, like I said, they don't put a lot of importance on relationships and stuff like that, maybe. But they may realize you have empathy and good relationships with people. And they may envy that somewhat because they don't have it. It's something they can't do or have. Maybe they've never experienced it. Grass is always greener somewhere else, so they think that's great. They want to try that. I don't know. Just a guess. Sorry I couldn't help you more, Jenny. Thanks. Jewel from Australia. Hi, David. I love your channel, and you have helped me so much. Thank you very much. Good. I would like to ask you about a particular behavior I experienced from my narcissist, please. When we go out somewhere, he'd often walk far ahead, leaving me behind. If I complained about this, he'd then do the extreme opposite, sticking next to me like he was attached to me, following me around everywhere. He'd do this all day, even at home. If I told him to stop, he'd say in a sarcastic tone, "I'm just trying to keep you happy." Obviously, I'm an inconsiderate jerk. My question is this typical narc behavior, and what would you call this kind of thing? It was upsetting and disturbing to me. I don't know if it's typical narc behavior, but I could see it being upsetting and disturbing. That's weird. And these people are weird. They have social problems. They missed out on a lot of socialness growing up, even with just their parents. They, this sounds like a child, doesn't it? With their mom, bugging the hell out of their mom, doesn't know how to do it, walk away from their mom, come here, come here, come here, and finally they act all sarcastic, and here mom, oh, here mom, stuck to their hip. Just sounds like a kid, with a very immature person, to say the least. I mean, to say the least, right? I don't know. Maybe they're trying to upset you and screw with you. But when your men walk ahead of you, it's probably they don't see you as their equal. They probably don't really care about your opinions, your feelings, what you want, what you need. Maybe they're embarrassed. Remember, these are people that care about what people think. Right? So you're like an extension, right? So my girlfriend, if people think my girlfriend is stupid, then they're going to think I'm stupid. If people think my girlfriend's ugly, then I'm a loser. Things like that. So I'm going to walk ahead of my girlfriend. It's also very avoidant, isn't it? Always pushing you away. Yeah, don't stand for it, women. Yeah. Michael, Burlington, Ontario, Canada. Hi, David. It's been a while since the last time I asked a question. Hi. Good to see you again. Not sure if you remember me. Of course I do. But I asked a question about my ex in a cake stand a while back. Anyways, I'm doing really good now, thanks to you and your channel. Good. I owe you so much for all your help. Everyone should take your advice about no contact. This is the key to healing. My question is, I have watched all your videos and a lot of other videos about this subject. One thing I've never heard anyone say, but it was a huge help to my recovery, is forgiveness. Once I learned what happened in my marriage, I took your advice and started working on me, why I chose her. Okay. Why don't people talk more about forgiveness in YouTube videos, is what you're asking me. I do. I've talked about it quite a bit, Michael. I've talked about it a lot in my Q&As, and I've made videos about it. I would recommend, if you don't mind, watch a video I made, and it's titled Self-Compassion. I think it's CPTSD Self-Compassion. Should be, it is in my CPTSD playlist. We don't, forgiveness is we're telling the person I forgive you. I understand the concept of we don't have to tell them, it's for us. Well, we don't have to forgive someone unless they ask for it. That's my thing. We need compassion. We need to understand. Okay, if you're forgiving somebody, you need to forgive someone to move on. Instead of just saying, I forgive them, understand what happened. If you're hurt, emotional pain is misunderstood. I'm telling you, it's just misunderstood. Once you understand it, it doesn't hurt it as much or anymore. Okay? So have compassion for the person. I know, crazy, I know, but I'm not telling you you're there yet, everyone. But eventually, when you find compassion for your abuser, all you're doing is not excusing them at all. You're finding and learning and understanding who they are, why they do what they do, so that you know it's not you, it's them. That they've been doing it, and that they'll do it again to you or someone else. Once you have that compassion for them, you need to start having that same compassion for yourself. So I made a video called Self-Compassion about this. And I actually just made a video this morning with someone else that has a YouTube channel, Tracy Malone, and another person, Anna, from Phoenix Life Coaching. So that video should already be out by the time this one comes out on Monday. So go ahead and watch that. It's about forgiveness. Okay? Thanks, Michael, very much. And I think that's it. Thanks, guys. That's it. That's all of the question and answer videos or questions. And thank you guys very, very much. If you could help me always by doing things to this video to help. Any activity helps. Views, voting, thumbs up, even thumbs down. If you don't like it, I don't care. It makes it bigger. Comments, questions, sharing this with other people, putting it in a playlist helps. Posting it on social media accounts, giving it to people who could benefit from it, okay? Thanks, guys. Always. Love yourself first. I'll see you next Monday, okay? Have a good week. Bye-bye.